one's visiting the US anymore and it's costing billions. So I pulled an article up. It says it'll cost America $12.8 billion due to the fact that people are scared to come to America now under the Trump administration. Trump got everybody scared what's going on as far as war talk, tariffs, the migrant crisis that's still looming. There are still millions of migrants within the country that came in under Biden. It has tourists scared, and it's going to cost America in the tourism industry. This is the decline of the tourism industry. Continuation. Let's keep it going. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
Tourism in America is facing a government-induced crisis right now.
I don't think people appreciate how much harm Trump is doing to the US tourism industry right now.
I'm 100% convinced that people who are planning a little tourist trip to the US now are sadists.
If you are a foreigner, don't come to America.
It's not safe to travel anywhere in the United States.
America is not even safe for Americans.
Nope.
We are in a tourism crisis.
So United States tourism is plummeting in the billions.
We have not been in this kind of tourism crisis for decades.
Cities like New York, Miami, Orlando, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, San Francisco are all going to see a huge hit to their tourism industry this year.
America has lost $12.5 billion.
Allies like the United Kingdom, Germany, and Canada have issued warnings to their citizens telling them to reconsider travel to the United States after other citizens have been unlawfully detained.
So Donald Trump's America First policies is making the country unattractive to international visitors.
Growing lists of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States.
Tourism in the U.S. is collapsing. Airports are quieter, hotel rooms are empty, and major attractions are seeing fewer foreign faces. International arrivals are down, spending is shrinking, and the once booming travel industry is starting to feel like a ghost town. For a country that once welcomed the world with open arms, the silence is deafening.
I'm 100% convinced that people who are planning a little tourist trip to the US now are sadists. They're the kind of people who pull over on a highway to watch a car crash go from start to finish. Just be like, I want to see how this whole thing plays out, and I want to be right in the thick of it. It's not worth it, baby. There is nothing here to see that won't be here after this whole thing has fallen or gotten restructured. I promise you the Grand Canyon will outlast whatever fucking crazy shit is going on right now. So, unless you're on your deathbed and looking at the St. Louis Arch is on your bucket list, you can go to Japan.
It's not safe to travel anywhere in the United States. If you're not a legal permanent resident or a U.S. citizen, travel is rough right now. Everywhere I go, every news I see, every immigration attorney I talk to, every family member, every case I get is people traveling. So the reality is no, it's not safe to travel right now. There's immigration in Dallas. There was immigration in Puerto Rico, which is Camila Munoz, my client, got picked up there. There's immigration in New York. There's immigration in San Diego. There's immigration in Utah. Immigration is everywhere.
Cities like New York, Miami, Orlando, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, San Francisco are all going to see a huge hit to their tourism industry this year. Allies like the United Kingdom, Germany, and Canada have issued warnings to their citizens telling them to reconsider travel to the United States after other citizens have been unlawfully detained. Like the Canadian woman who was unlawfully detained in a detention center in Arizona, or the French researcher who was detained and then deported because they found messages on his phone critical of Trump's approach to research funding in the United States. The more that cases like this come out, more foreign governments are going to issue warnings, and that's going to have a direct impact on communities here. And you may not care, but in 2019, international visitors spent $180 billion in the United States, which led to nearly $2 trillion in economic output. Visitor numbers were set to return to pre-pandemic levels this year, but now we have this going on. Those travelers will still be traveling, though. They just won't be traveling here.
Yep, other destinations will be getting that money, not America. I'm telling you, the collapse is getting worse and worse, ain't it? Even the tourism industry is down. It's collapsing. Every part of America is falling. People don't even want to come no more. It's not safe for them. It's going to look like a ghost town like C-19. Nobody traveling because they couldn't. This time they're choosing not to. And if you go to Vegas, or if you've seen videos in Vegas, you will see nobody's really going to Vegas no more. The strip is empty. Nobody is out there. It looks like a ghost town out there.
So Donald Trump's America First policies is making the country unattractive to international visitors. According to the World Travel Tourism Council, the United States is expected to lose $12.5 billion this year in tourism revenue. This is substantial. If you just put everything to do with the economy and tariffs aside, the fact that $12.5 billion isn't going to be spent in the United States this year is a catastrophic figure. This source, folks, comes from the World Travel Tourism Council and also CBS News. My name is Nick. I'd love you to give me a follow. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
I'm a U.S. citizen living in Mexico, so I'm very used to seeing travel warnings like this from the U.S. government, warning their citizens about crime and other things that are occurring in different states throughout Mexico. But did you also know that countries all over the world have travel advisories warning their citizens about traveling to the United States? Like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, France, the UK all have travel warnings warning their citizens about traveling to the US. And they cite things like gun violence, police brutality, mass shootings, even lack of access to healthcare. Canada?
Yeah, that's true. There was a mass shooting in Michigan a couple days ago. A man shot up a church. And this is the norm. Mass shootings happen every year, let alone in the poverty-stricken environments. It's like World War III already going on there. In the summer especially, record-breaking numbers of shootings usually go down when it get hot, especially in the Midwest where I come from. When it get hot, the violence increase. You'll hear of a weekend where anywhere from 30 to 100 people being unalive. That's normal. Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore probably. I can keep naming them, but that's just a few. I'm saying that to say it's not safe right now. I already know. Summer just started. And watch. We're going to see all type of carjackings, all type of violence, all type of crime going on. And the economy is struggling too. When people hungry, that's when violence increase too. So it's not a good time. If you're watching from another country, it is not a good time. Choose another country to go to.
Straight up tells its citizens to familiarize themselves with active shooter drills. New Zealand does the same. Imagine you're a family getting ready to go on vacation and you're reading about active shooter drills so you're prepared while on vacation. Meanwhile, American kids have been doing that since they've been 5 years old.
Yep.
So maybe instead of clutching our pearls about travel outside of the US, we should take a long, honest look at the very real dangers happening in our backyard, because the rest of the world already is.
Domestic travel within the U.S. is slowing down. It is not growing as fast as it used to be because everyone is traveling abroad and heading out, going to Europe and Asia. Everyone who benefited from the pandemic years when people were stuck, there was nowhere to go, those businesses, organizations are seeing a slowdown. Ask hotels, ask businesses based in the U.S. that focus on domestic U.S. tourists, they will tell you their growth rates are not as high as they used to be in 2021 and 2022 because Americans are going abroad.
So United States tourism is plummeting in the billions. Billions of dollars, that is. And you know how folks often tell international communities how much they need our tourism dollars? A lot of Americans forget that their own cities thrive off of tourism. In 2023 alone, the United States travel and tourism market contributed to $2.36 trillion. And the cities and states that rely heavily on hotel taxes, sales taxes, and other tourism-related fees, less tourism for you means less funding in education, transit, and infrastructure in your city or state.
Your travel in the US might be getting cheaper, but it's not for a good reason. Because of all the chaos that's been going on at the US border and more broadly in geopolitics, a lot of people internationally are choosing not to travel to the US anymore. International travel from other countries to the US is way down. Plane arrivals in particular were down over 10% year over year. Bureau of Labor Statistics also reported that March was the first month where we actually saw costs for things like car rentals and hotels in the US go down. Goldman Sachs estimated that in a worst case scenario, we'd be losing $90 billion in GDP just this year due to these international travel trends. What do you think? Do you know anybody that has boycotted US travel?
It's projected that a lot of people from the United States are going to be fleeing the United States in 2025.
I agree. A lot of people want to get out of America. They're planning their escape currently in 2025 or 2026. They're seeing the writing on the wall and they want to get out while they can before Trump put that golden dome over the country. Remember, that was predicted on The Simpsons too.
Day 93 under the dome. With necessities growing dangerously low, who knows what spark will set off this powder keg?
Okay, let's discuss Tuesdays with Maury.
Again, if we don't get a new book, I'm going to puke. You're the 5 people I'm going to meet in hell.
We're out of coffee! I can't take another minute in this
Look what they're doing to our dome.
Yeah, surveillance system.
You know what that is, sir?
A crack?
Exactly. First, let me state the problem.
He's trying to keep people in. He's trying to stop people from going to Africa by banning them from coming here. He knows that they'll retaliate like Chad did and make it to where, hey, if y'all don't want us coming there, y'all can't come here.
As somebody who has only been in the United States after 5 days, after 4.5 months in Central America, like, I get it. I'm struggling real hard, but I have a request. I have a very strong request that I guarantee is going to make your experience in those countries so much better. If you are in any country, learn the language. Like if you're,
right.
Especially if you're going to a Latin American country, like, Spanish is really not a difficult language to learn if you already know English. Just like one word in Spanish could be like 5 different words in English. Like it's really not that difficult. It will make your experience abroad so much better. When I was doing a group hiking trip, I was like one of 4 people out of 30 that knew enough Spanish to have conversations with the guides. And I was like one of their favorite people, and it made my experience so much better. I made friends with the guides like as I was going, and it was nice to practice with other people. And Latin American countries, especially when it comes to community and family, like they can be really welcoming, like hospitable, and it's amazing. Like, I really enjoyed my time connecting with other Latin American people, and it's just about learning the language. Like it will, like, if you're planning on leaving in 2025, start learning Spanish now. Please, Duolingo, okay? Learn now.
You definitely want to learn the language, or at least learn the greetings, and then go from there. Learn how to say hi, bye, how much. If you're shopping, you want to know how to say how much is this. The more you learn, the better your experience will be. You'll be able to connect with the people. And let me capitalize on what she said. She said being back in America is hard on her. I remember when I came back from living in Mexico, being back in the country, it feels different. The air feels different. Like, the people seem different. You really see a difference. You're like, man, this place is the real third world country, not where I just came from. Everybody's stressed out, depressed, negative attitudes, on edge. It's like zombies walking around. Like, you speak to people, they don't speak back. It's different, man. It's different. Once you travel outside of the country, you realize you were lied to. America tries to keep you in so you can't see the real. They lie. Oh, it's dangerous everywhere else. Well, it's super dangerous here too. Actually, more dangerous. And it's been that way. In your backyard, there's something every single day. You turn on the news, you're going to hear about crime every day.
If you are not a U.S. citizen, don't come to this country. If you are here and you're not a U.S. citizen, I don't care what kind of documentation you have, and I don't care how long you're staying, whether it's for a week or years, go. If you can go, go. And I know this is what they want, and I hate it because I love to be like, resist. But ending up in an ICE detention facility is not an act of resistance. And it does not matter if you are white passing. It does not matter how smart you are or what you're contributing, or if you're just visiting and you're a tourist. Don't. It's not safe here. We're not safe. They are detaining U.S. citizens. They are detaining tourists. There was a 28-year-old backpacker, a young woman, who is now in an ICE detention facility. It does not matter. If you're leaving and I can come with you, I would love that. Let me know how to do that. I have a master's degree and I'm a very nice person. I'll be very good to your country. But this ain't the place. Get out while you can. And do not send your kids here as foreign exchange students. Do not send them on a student visa. Do not think you're going to come over here and do some kind of medical residency or scientific research. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
leave America behind.
Somebody from here, don't do it. We're not safe. We're not a good country. We're under authoritarian rule at this point. So, sorry about that. Fucking sucks. Bye.
So just came across this.
The economy is set to lose $12.5 billion in international travel in just this year, in just 2025. This is wild. This is completely self-inflicted. This is because of Trump's, his stupid trade war. There's no business travel. People are not coming for conventions. They're not coming for business. They're not coming for vacation. And it's because of the trade war. It's also because we are now on a national humanitarian watch list. Yes, the USA is on a watch list because of humanitarian concerns.
Right.
This is crazy. This is all because the orange shit gibbon is in office. This is MAGA's fault for believing this idiot. He's destroying our economy in more ways than one. First the trade wars, and now, and this is going to have a huge ripple effect for any business in states like California, my state, in New York, and even in fucking Florida. People don't want to come. And this is going to affect so many businesses. The damage this piece of shit is doing is, it's ridiculous. It's crazy how much damage one man and all his lackeys who don't know shit about shit are doing to this country. He is destroying this country. $12.5 billion loss in international travel.
The Great Reset is in full effect. Post-pandemic, this was the plan, and it's going according to it. It didn't matter which president got in there, by the way. Y'all know me, I'm not into politics. It's not the election, it's the selection. They're put in there by the higher-ups. Royalty has to remain royalty and are sworn in to conduct that order. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's not just America. Each country is playing their part. The kings of each nation are playing their part so that there will be a one world government, one world religion. We're getting closer to it each and every single day. This is the real of what's going on. And yeah, the country has been compromised. No president has ever been for you. Let me just set that in stone.
Tourism has dropped in America, and in March we are down 11.6%. Just a quick reminder that tourism industry in America produces $2.36 trillion worth of revenue in 2023. So there's that. People don't want to come here because this country is fascist. Ain't that a bitch? And for those who are in Florida, this summer is going to be real hard if you work a tourist job or a job that has a lot of tourists, because they ain't coming. They don't want to come to this fascist country. But you know what? The Trumpers are okay with that, right? Who cares? Who cares if we lose trillions of dollars? The egg prices. My God. And before I go, I want to remind you guys that this affects a lot of things. The airlines will lose money because people don't want to travel here. The hotels and Airbnbs, they're going to lose money because people don't want to travel here. The restaurants are going to lose money because there's no one eating in them. The taxis, the Ubers, the Lyfts, all going to lose money because ain't nobody getting in them cars to go nowhere. So they going to be cutting hours at these restaurants and these hotels and these stores.
And they're going to be cutting workers. We're going to see more layoffs, more terminations. A part of the reset is the collapse of the system, so that a new system can emerge. This whole system has to fall first. And that's what we're seeing.
Shops losing money because we are down, and it's only March, and we are down 11%. But hey, again, egg prices. Are we winning yet?
America has lost $12.5 billion. Lost that income. Gone. Just poof. Gone. In the tourism sector, people aren't coming here. People aren't coming from other countries here to travel, like for business, for personal. They ain't coming here. They're not coming here to have their conventions. They're not coming here to start, nope, because you know why? Do you know why that is? Nope, not for the obvious reasons. Because for the first time in history, the United States has been put on the national watch list. We are violating human rights here. So they say, do not go there. Whoa, we're winning all right. My God. Do you know who that's going to affect? Not to mention our planes are falling out of the sky left and fucking right. So I don't think anybody has any confidence in the U.S. Airways at this point.
Yeah, y'all remember my video? Or if you didn't see it, I did a video on the airports being empty. People aren't traveling. People are scared to get on planes. Because we could say, hey, it's due to the fact people don't got no money. But people always found a way to travel. People will go broke to travel prior to this. But now they're paying attention. They're seeing, man, there's so many planes falling out the sky. It ain't funny. The people that are traveling, they don't plan on coming back.
You know, like the big, huge cities where people travel to and bring money into the United States, they ain't making no fucking money. But I thought it was America first. Now, if he expects the Americans to go to these places and make up for all the foreign people that ain't coming here for that $12 billion, maybe he shouldn't be giving, like, I don't know, tax breaks to the super rich, and maybe make the 10% that you're stealing from, maybe make us a little richer so we can spend, we can't, you know, a vacation becomes a staycation, or you just don't do it. But what? But we're winning. Everything is great. Prices are up. Gas prices are up. Grocery prices are up. Mortgage rates are up. Consumer spending is down. Investments in the United States, not into Donald Trump's meme coin, are down.
Credit card debt, up.
Stocks fucking down because he announced more tariffs.
Savings down.
But we're fucking winning, right? Winning. People are going to lose their jobs. People are losing their jobs.
Okay. All right, so this is for anybody who cares about this country that's not in a cult right now. We are in a tourism crisis. We have not been in this kind of tourism crisis for decades. And nobody's talking about it. Right now, since Trump took office, there's already been a 22.5% decrease in tourism. Now, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Just imagine 22.5% just right now. And they're calculating a total decrease by $169 billion by the end of the year. Man. This is going to affect amusement parks, restaurants, hotels, transportation companies, Airbnb, you name it.
169 billion by the end of the year. It's June right now, about to be July. It's about to be felt this summer. Summer just started a couple days ago, but it's about to be felt. And it's going to affect the economy tremendously.
Right. Let's take a look at Mr. DeSantis's backyard in Florida alone. Canada. #1 tourists into the state of Florida. 35% decrease in the number of cars from Canada crossing the border to travel to Florida to vacation since Trump took office. And a whopping 76% by air, according to NBC, since Trump took office from Canada. We already know Canada had to cut all sorts of flights and downsize Airbuses down to smaller jets. I mean, it's ridiculous. And of course we know why. Besides the sheer and utter fear of going through Homeland Security, crossing the border into this country, that alone is stopping a lot of people. We've got people here in the United States who can't even travel. I mean, how many people have already lost their jobs because of the tariffs?
And not only are they downsizing at the airlines, what they're also doing is making it to where you can book a cheaper flight by standing up. So your ticket will be cheaper if you vow that you'll stand up on the flight. We never seen nothing like this before. That's crazy. You're going to be standing instead of sitting. They trying anything. I don't think that's going to work either. Who wants to stand up on a plane?
Somebody very close to us last week that works for a steel coil transportation company, they had to lay off 9 people. And the owner said it's because of the tariffs. Then we have the Doge cuts and you name it. But Trump is tanking everything. And I just want you to know, people do not want to come to the United States. If you think that everybody around the world is in the MAGA cult echo chamber, of Trump being Jesus and totally blessing this country, you're so sadly mistaken.
So, y'all know them travel advisory reports that the United States loves to push out, basically telling us to not go to certain places because they're violent or it's not safe. Yeah, so the Department of Commerce has now issued a report showing a growing list of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States. Yeah, now we are not the safe country. So I'm reading from an article that you can find on Forbes.com, right? So it says that the United States government reported a double-digit overall drop in international arrivals last month, with much bigger losses coming from Canada, Mexico, and lucrative Western Europe markets, suggesting foreign tourists are staying away in significant numbers due to the tariff backlash and even harsher immigration tactics. So I'm just going to read off some of these statistics. So in the Caribbean, they have seen a 26% drop from visitors and tourists. Africa, 10% drop. South America, 11% drop. Central America, 24% drop. Asia is a 1% drop. And now the two largest governments, or the two largest European markets, the United Kingdom is down 15%, and then Germany is down 29%. These governments are telling their citizens to not come over to the United States, not visit the United States, in fear that ICE agents will detain their citizens and not bring them back to their native land, which we see is the case here in this administration. If they come here, God forbid, get detained by ICE, ICE will not allow them to prove that they're visiting, will not allow them to prove their visas. They will most likely send them to a detention center and then ship them over to El Salvador's mega prison, just like they did with that teenage New York Bronx kid that's actually from Venezuela. Instead of deporting him to his native country, they deported him to the mega prison. Yeah.
Prison. This is criminal, right? This being done to tourists. That's criminal. These people are being shipped to prison just for going on vacation. Yeah, I want to go to America. I want to travel, check it out. And it turns into them being locked up abroad in a detention center. This is not the time. I'm telling you, share this video out, y'all. Let people know, do not come to America. The Americans are trying to get out. This is not the nation that it once was. This is not the place to be. You know, every other country used to think, oh, America is the greatest country ever. Those days are long gone. From my perspective, it's never been that, but those days are long gone. I advise people to not come here. And I tell people that all the time. They're like, you're the first person I've heard say that. I'll let somebody from Africa know quickly. I'll let somebody know from Southeast Asia know quickly. You have everything you need right here in your country. You stay in your country. America lied. It's not what you think. Family, let me know what y'all think about this video. Drop a comment below. Share your thoughts. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Peace. And to my Hebrew family, shalom. I will catch y'all on the next one.